So how did we get so lucky to have the young, pretty lady join us? How has this even happened? I mean, have you looked at the two of us?
Yeah, it's definitely happening.
Well, once again, you guys have landed in After Hours. This is Indian Rider Radio's a little different type of thing. My co-host, he's right over there. That is Ridingfish, and we are happy to have him along. We're glad you joined us this week, and we have a very special guest for you. We've all been to rallies. We've all seen those lovely ladies standing around motorcycles or showing off in their lovely bikinis. And we often, if you're my age, walk around going, wow, I wonder whose daughter that is. But more importantly, you don't always get a whole lot of information about them. You don't learn a lot about them because they're pretty faces standing there. But now we've had the chance to meet this young lady, and I'd like to introduce you to Andrea Crosser. Andrea, hi. Glad you're here.
Hello. Hello. Thank you.
So let's start things off with the most obvious question there is. How do you get started doing what you do?
Yeah, it's definitely been a crazy ride. I've only been doing it for about a year and a few months now.
Okay.
So I came out of a very toxic relationship. We all have our stories. So mine was coming out of a very toxic relationship, and I start working out, changing my diet, physically, spiritually, mentally, so on and so forth. So when I started working out, I started seeing results, and I kept getting asked by local photographers, friends of mine, hey, let's do a shoot. And so finally I went for it, and I did it. But little did I know, obviously, I became addicted, and I loved it, right? So when I seen the results, I was like, oh my God, like I have to do it again and again and again. And here I am.
But the backstory is that you are not a 20-something.
Correct.
And you're a mom. And you've really gone a long way in a short period of time for this type of work. When Fred and I met you in Sturgis, he told me that you were over 30 is what I'm going to say. Okay, you're over 30.
Thank you.
And I looked at him like he was deliberately lying at me. You know, no, you're not. So again, when you're just, you get invited to do some shoots, you get invited to be a part of something, but what then propels it forward? Is it you? Is it the photos? Is it people that see the work? How does it move it forward?
Well, a little bit of backstory. I mean, I do have a little bit of experience in modeling, so it's not my first rodeo, so to speak. So when I was younger, my parents actually put me in beauty pageants, so that's how I originally got started. And then when I was in my early teens, I went to Barbizon in Chicago. It was like in Schaumburg, but I was young. I was only like 15 at the time, and I was very more tomboyish, believe it or not. I was really into sports, and I loved soccer. And then, like I said, just this past year, I had the opportunity to network and do tons of photo shoots, and I've been in several different fashion shows locally. Just a few weeks ago, I was in Tennessee for one, so that was probably the biggest fashion show that I've done. I walked for actually 6 different designers, so I did a lot of networking.
But now recently, if anyone follows Andrea on social media, you were also trying to become a Maxim girl. How did that all work out?
Yes. So it's just a whole bunch of networking. And I seen the opportunity, so I said, you know what, why not? I've always had more so leaning towards Sports Illustrated. So I seen the opportunity for Maximum, and that's why I ended up going for it. And I did also apply for Sports Illustrated 2021, which I have to submit my video for that.
Talk to us about the motorcycle experience and the Sturgis experience, because
oh my gosh.
but for a lot of professional models, that is not something on their to-do list. They look at other opportunities. But what was it like for you? I mean, you're again returning to modeling, if you will. Yeah. Walking into that lion's den, what was it like?
For me, because I'm more of a city and sub girl. I'm more like a city girl, so to be honest, it was like a culture shock for me. I was like, what did I just get myself into? Like, seriously. I used to ride and stuff like that, and used to go on like poker rides and stuff, but never like that many bikers in my life. And just like seeing the so many men and women in different ages, diversity. I was really blown away, but it was also a really good experience. And I enjoyed meeting the majority of the people that, I was introduced to.
Well, I'm glad you didn't come right out and say meeting you, Curtis, was a real pain in the ass, because that would have been part of the whole discussion here.
Right.
But do you see a future in that kind of work? I mean, because obviously it's something that suited you, and people responded very positively to you.
Thank
And
you.
I think in part it's because you aren't one of those, I want to say, silly 20-somethings. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm very personal. I'm very relatable. So I just have that, I guess, gift per se, if that's what you want to call it.
Sure.
People just feel very comfortable coming up to me and talking to me.
And now, again, if you start at 15 and you're going to Barbizon and learning the trade, if you will, and doing all the things that are involved in that, that's one thing. I mean, you climb the ladder gradually, you do whatever you're going to do. But at over 30, it has to be a little different way to walk in the door. How do you knock the door open when you're the over 30 crowd?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, nowadays there's so many men and women in different ages. I mean, just in this last fashion show, I was like so inspired because there was an older grandmother, so to speak. She was 68. And she was in the fashion show, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's your story? I have to know, like, please tell me. I thought that she had been around for years, and no, she just started like up a year ago. So that's how we hit it off, and that was one of our conversations. The age does not bother me at all. At first I was like, oh my god, even starting I was like, oh my god, I'm too old, I'm a mom, I don't have time. It was because I was scared, because I was scared of the unknown. I was fear.
Sure.
But once when I got over that, then I was fine. I was like, I got this. Yeah.
You're way too quiet over there. What's going on in your mind?
Oh, I actually want to like back up. So we know you're a model, but would you say you're an Instagram model, or is that how you started? And then my other quick question, so I don't get lost, is were you, as soon as Instagram came out, were you that girl that was like 500 pictures? And did you love taking pictures of yourself before you opened up to letting other people take pictures?
Yeah.
I have 200 followers on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So you have 5,000 plus or whatever number it is. I struggled to get 200. I don't know. Maybe I need to get more selfies or something.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So no, being in the industry, because when I had my first photo shoot, I didn't even know how to pose, and I was like, oh my god, this is so awkward. I didn't know, but they're like, no, if this is what you're going to do, you have to do XYZ. You got to get your social media platforms. The Instagram that I have currently is just strictly for my modeling. But now that I'm kind of branching out, because I don't want to be so vague, like, oh my gosh, she's just a model. No, I actually want my followers to become a part of me, as part of my fans and my family, to actually get to know me as who I am. Not only am I a model, but I want you to know that I love, gardening and food and my children. So it's not so fake and phony. And first, that's how I started my Instagram. And I think I started it, actually, believe it or not, it was towards the end of last year in 2019. So no, I am not really considered an Instagram model. I am just a model for right now. I am, I have been international, published, as well as a runway model. So
you want to make it more accessible. You want to be more real to your
right,
followers.
Authentic.
Yeah,
very authentic. Yes.
And that too is something that I think suits you better over 30 than it would under.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah.
Well, I think at the 30 years old, you start to realize who you are as a person. You started to become that person. You're not, and we all still change, I would say, even as we get older. That's the benefit of getting older, is you get a chance to change things. So they came for the pretty looks, right? And now they get to stay because they like who you are and who you're becoming, what you want other people to be.
Yeah, it's not superficial anymore. It's not that two-dimensional face on a page someplace. Now we know Andrea. Now we know what she's about. Now we know why she does what she does. And I think it's going to serve you well over time, especially, and I don't know if you'll ever come back to the motorcycle arena, but if you do, that will serve you well there, because that's part of what people find in the motorcycle experience, is they meet other personalities and other people that they then network with and become friends with. I mean, what did we spend? A couple hours together standing around there talking.
Yep.
And, in that short period of time, it was easy to recognize that, oh, this is different. Andrea is different. This is not what you run across everywhere. She is definitely different.
Yeah. I tell a lot of people, for those who don't know me, I'm an old soul for sure. I can connect very well with others. And not to correct you, but I'm going to correct you, Curtis.
Please,
I prefer Andrea.
Andrea. Okay.
Yes. It's okay. That's fine.
Okay, start the whole timeout over.
All right.
We ruined. Okay. I don't know. Come out.
Grew up this simple kid. I'm thrown out of my own show. I don't understand this.
If you haven't already realized, we are on After Hours today. Curtis was,
Yeah, I just have a little tantrum moment there. I'm better now. I'll be all right.
I still love you.
Well, by God, I'll take it. Don't you worry about that.
Do you find it hard when you're trying to negotiate? Do you feel like some people try to lowball you sometimes because you're representing yourself?
Oh yeah, absolutely, all the time.
It's a hard thing. Even like me and my channel, I've worked with dealerships, and they start to ask you, well, what do you think? What do you want in feedback, or what do you want in repayment for this, or what when you work with us? Right. And me, I still have a very hard time. Curtis knows this. I've talked to him. I have a hard time putting value on that for myself.
Right.
And hopefully for you, it'd be easier because there's already, right? You're a model, you're going to do X, Y, Z. Yeah. Oh, by the way, they get paid X, Y, Z. I think that's what I should be paid. Or, hey, maybe a little bit better. But I just find it.
But the ongoing argument, though, with models in particular, and I ran into it with voiceover and a couple other things, is that because you're not listed with an agency or because you are not represented, the first thing they're going to say is, well, I'm certainly not going to pay agency rates for somebody who's not agency listed. And that's a pain in the ass, no question about it, because I lost jobs because I wouldn't back off of the price that I was offering. And I freelanced just like you did for a number of years. And it really was tough. I mean, the guys that finally would buy in and work with me, absolutely. We had great relationships, and we always have, and we still do. But getting those guys that say, well, $1,500, that's an agency rate.
Right.
Yeah, it is. I just don't happen to have one. Sorry. I mean, just what it is.
Exactly. I was told, don't ever sell yourself short and know your worth, depending on, if it's locally, obviously, I don't charge very much, but if it's like out of town, if I have to worry about, like a flight or hotel or rental or something like that, then of course, then the prices go up.
Absolutely.
Unless if they're providing, then that's a little different.
Yeah, that's just the cost of doing business.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You're a business owner, right?
I am actually getting ready to launch my own business.
That a girl. Yeah, see, there you go. But
it's always good to have a backup plan because you just never know.
Right. Yeah, my old man told me that the smartest guy on the block is the guy with a plan B.
Yes, and absolutely. 1,000%. I agree.
Lived that dream ever since.
Yeah.
A guy told me, Rob Gregory, he said, if you want just an easy life, you want a no stressful life and just get by and everything be good, you can work 8 to 5. Right? But if you want to be successful in life, you need to figure out which 12-hour day you're going to work, the morning or the night. Yeah. Because 8 hours isn't going to get you anything special. So, yeah, and that's what it sounds like you're doing. You're putting in.
Yeah,
you're putting in the time, and that's important,
I'm definitely putting in the time for sure.
The dark side of modeling. There is a dark side. Everybody knows it. It all gets ignored. But there's misogynistic, chauvinistic assholes out there, and there are power struggles, and there are catty women. How do you wade through that?
Research. I am grown. I do not do drama at all. I just don't even associate with people like that. I try to avoid it as much as I can because it's so... it's like
sucks the energy out of you.
Yes, but I am representing myself as a brand. I am a mother, and I don't want anything coming back, later in life to haunt me or my children.
What about coming back to motorcycling or motorcycle theme type modeling? Did you find that fascinating? Did you find it fun?
I did. Yeah, absolutely. It was, like I said, it was definitely a good experience. I would love to come back, whether it's there or, some other type of event, just to get a more feel and experience and meet more people. I
Yeah.
was a little disappointed just because I didn't really get a motorcycle ride. So I was like, oh man, I wish that would have happened, but maybe next year or somewhere in the near future. I don't
Oh,
know.
we'll find you. No problem. We'll make that work. That's easy.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of those videos? And I hope this never happened to you. My God, when the runway model's walking down and then she like sprains her ankle and then like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, I've lost calories laughing at those.
Yeah.
They're
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well,
This is at least the second time.
Enough meat on me that it's all.
Start. Come on, girl.
We want to apologize.
Hold on.
okay, well,
videos I've ever
no, truth be told, so there was an actual hiccup, and I was just in, well, two actually, just this past year here in Chicago, and so one I was walking down while the girl behind me stepped on my dress, and I started to tumble. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is going to be so embarrassing. Like if I literally do that, but luckily I didn't. I kind of kept it together.
Yeah.
And yeah, needless to say, I stumbled, but then I kind of played it off like, oh, I did that on purpose. Like, I got
Right.
this.
God,
You just got to roll with it
Well,
sometimes.
if I fall, I'm that guy that jumps right up and I looks around to see if anybody saw me. So that's me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, luckily I haven't like really fell or sprained an ankle or anything like that. But
See, the beauty of falling
has
at my
happened
age,
for sure.
if you fall at my age, people think you broke a hip.
Oh my gosh.
Cool. I mean, I'm handicapped. Help me up here over here. But you have to admit it, Andrea, that now the modern model is not what it was maybe when you were 15. There was that height requirement. There was a certain look. It had to be the 36, 24, 36 kind of model.
Right.
Today, I think that there's a lot more, I want to say, realistic representation in modeling, and it opens the door for height, weight differences, age differences. I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah. Yes, and that's wonderful, because you see all these magazines, and back then everybody thought that they had to look a certain way or they had to have a certain hair color because, oh my gosh, that's all you see is blondes,
Yeah.
And nowadays, I mean, it's from blondes to reds to tattoos. Tattoos are a really big thing.
Well, what I was going to say is it is nice that there's so much diversity because my daughter has flaming red hair and it's beautiful. I think my daughter's beautiful.
Yep.
But it's nice that when she starts to become that preteen or the teenager and she's flipping through magazines or clicking through Instagrams, she'll see other people with red hair that people are up front and say, hey, she's beautiful. So and it's not so much, I never want my daughter to say, well, I wish I had blonde hair.
Right.
Or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. I watched my daughter go through that a couple of times where it's like, I don't look like these other girls. I'm shaped differently. I'm not as tall. I'm not as this. I'm not as that. Knock it off. You're just fine just the way you are. Okay. So, no, you're not going to get a call from Victoria's Secret, but do you want one? It's a different thing. So where do you see your career going from here, though? You're gonna walk up. You've got some outside opportunities and some entrepreneurial things going on. Where do you see modeling taking you over, the next 3 to 5 years?
I would love. My main goal is to a film, becoming an actress. I would love to do that. As far as more runway. I love the runway where I'm thinking big. So I'm thinking New York and Paris. Those are my main two that I would love to walk. Whether it's an actual like a big movie, like a worldwide movie, or if it's something on Netflix, just some type of little skit just to get going. I think that would be really awesome.
That is awesome. Is right.
This day and age, Netflix has it better than the theater movies.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Well, we're going to reach out to you here again before the end of the year because I wanted to talk to you about maybe doing a little promotional piece for us.
Okay.
I don't know if I can afford you, but I'm going to do my damnedest. You trust me on that.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Now, it will not get you a TV gig, and it's probably not going to get you any runway work.
Yeah.
but it will make a few happy bikers.
Okay. Yeah,
can do-
I'm game for it. Yeah, absolutely. Any paying opportunity, I'm there. Just saying.
How
I
much
like the way this girl thinks. I do.
how much value is in an Indian Rider Radio T-shirt and a Riding Fish T-shirt? That's that's value. That's
Well, she would certainly improve the quality of my merch in about a minute. It
Oh,
would take
geez.
a second. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yep.
I love it.
She would help the quality of my merch extensively. It would
oh
be.
man.
She's got the look. She's got the brain. She's got the travel heart. She's got the adventurous spirit. The reason we wanted to have you on, simple as this. One, we were both just blown away by your personality. You're so friendly and accessible. And I have always had the experience walking up to, especially at rallies and that kind of thing. You walk up to one of those models, say hi. And if she doesn't look down her nose at you,
Right.
some snide comment that's coming
Yeah.
into something. And I really braced myself for that when I introduced myself to you.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here it comes. And it didn't. And it was really nice. And
Thank you.
then to find out that you're not some 20-something, which took some convincing, by the way. I had to be diplomatic a couple of times.
Yeah.
But to see how you've developed your career and how you're doing this on your own is really fascinating and I think very inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
What are you doing over there?
What am I doing?
There's something going through your head. I can see it now.
No, I was just going to say the word you missed was genuine. Just a real
Yeah.
person that, so that was my takeaway is I don't want a fake ass person on the show. I would like a genuine person, and it's not always, we just want to meet genuine people, grow, we call it a community of motorcyclists. Well, we'll have to bring you out, get you on a motorcycle, and then you'll just like that, you'll be a motorcyclist.
Yes.
But more importantly, and this is the point that I saw happen there throughout the afternoon when we were talking, is that you were so easily engaged with anybody that came up and said hello or when, not generally the case. It just really isn't. And I think that was one of the things that really struck both of us. And we wanted to talk to you again was, yeah, she's got the look. She does all this stuff, but she's not like those other girls.
Yeah. Thank you.
And going forward, how do we follow you, find you, or hire you?
Oh, yes. So I'm on Instagram. So it's the official Andrea Nicole. It's all together, all lower caps. You can find me there. I'm in the process of creating my own website because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm getting ready to launch my own brand. So that's coming soon. So I'm really excited about that. But I'll be making announcements on my social media platforms. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So we started Instagram. We find you there, and then we'll get the website up, and that's how we can reach out to you and follow you going forward.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, it'll be attached to my bio on my Instagram. The link. Yeah.
Excellent.
And I'll put a link to your Instagram on my video. So anybody watching this, you can go down to the description and get a direct link straight over.
And I will see if I can eloquently describe it on our show. And that way, maybe somebody could figure it out because I don't have any place to post a link other than on Facebook. So we'll do that. Andrea Crosser. Now, if you haven't met her, now you have. If you want to know more, check her out on Instagram. And you and I are going to talk because I think we're going to do a little promotional piece. I don't know how much is in the budget, but I think we're going to have some fun with it.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for your time and the opportunity. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of slumming here, but we're doing the best we can.
I think you officially the biker community being on this show.
Yeah?
I think you're going to make some friends.
Okay. Awesome.
Andrea Crosser, this has been After Hours. That's Ridingfish. I'm Curtis Sawyer. Thanks for dropping by, hanging out with us today. And don't forget, another episode of Indian Rider Radio coming your way very, very soon. Stick around.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.